Welcome to another episode of the Backpocket, our annual Boatche hype episode. We're stoked to have you. We're stoked to kind of lay through, or run down, I should say, through the itinerary of Saturday's event. And we're just going to highlight a couple things that we think are going to be totally awesome. And there's just one thing that we highlighted that was totally awesome that is no longer going to be on the boat. That happens to be our ice tubs that we hyped up. So there's really no need to bring a swimsuit or wear a swimsuit. However, that's usually a part of the attire anyways for Boatche, so you might as well go ahead and use that. I will say, though, we're not using the cold tub anymore. We just wanted to clarify that before we dive into this episode. Enjoy.
Today is Tuesday, July 20th. We are here, episode 320, Decky Parallel Universe. How are you, brother?
I'm great, Andy Mars Rover. And I just want to say, man, happy Boatche week, brother. Third year running, man. How stoked are you?
I am so stoked. I mean, third year. That is bananas.
It's insane. It's my first... it's the first year that we've done it where it's actually been kind of off our minds the last 4 weeks just because of how many other things we have going on. And not to brag, we sold it out a month ago. So here we are just getting ready to basically lay down the law of how sick this day is about to be.
Yeah, that's the coolest part. Now we're we had the conversation earlier the last week, and we kind of, put some things off because we had sold out, and we're like, all right, everything's figured out. We're squared away. Everything pending will figure itself out. And then we were 10 days out, and we had a long call. It was like, okay, we got to tie up some loose ends. But all the loose ends were just how to provide additional value, bringing in sponsors, how to close the door on some goodie bags and shit like that. So the focus from not worrying about selling it out and breaking even to providing value is just super uplifting.
Yeah, I would say, it was mainly the stressors were low, very much just low hanging fruit. And then also an ongoing stressor, I would say, for us is still the fact that we have 350 people going on the boat and we can't go a single person over that. So balancing how many people are coming in and out of this boat in terms of refunds on tickets and how many tickets the sponsors want. And, oh, can this filmer come with me and my crew? And can my girlfriend come? And it's oh man, I didn't realize how important this comped ticket list was going to be until basically now.
That has been the funniest part too, because we're a couple comp tickets over. We're pushing it when it comes to the Stillwater Riverboat's capacity. We're banking on some no-shows because it always happens. I mean, let's call it what it is.
Very traditional.
Not every single ticket purchaser will show up. The boat sets sail promptly at 2 p.m. So I'm throwing that out there now. If you don't want to be that no-show person, we will set sail at 2 p.m. with or without you.
Excellent. You're right. So yeah, I think you led into something there, Andrew. I mean, the stressor of trying to figure out how to make sure it's only 350 people is a fun thing to stress about. Just because I'm so excited to see what the hell this this turnout's gonna look like in comparison. Because the first 2 years, it was we weren't. I don't even think we were half capacity of both of the different boats we had. Still rip roaring time, don't get me wrong, but now we're in a situation where the boat is going to be packed. We have just the coolest stage setup of all time. I'm going through visuals with Twin Sick right now, and I'll be planting memes on the big LED screen on the top floor. We did get confirmed on CO2 cannons, so we will have those there. And we have just a massive
question about the
DJ
CO2
set.
cans. I got a quick question. So you asked me a couple days ago, hey man, can I add these CO2 cannons to the purchase order? And I was like, yeah, for sure. But I didn't quite process on what they are. Are we? I think the obvious one is they're blowing up smoke. But what I initially thought was we have a CO2 t-shirt launcher, and we can blast off t-shirts to all dinghies flying very slowly as the boat passes past all of these dinghies on Stillwater River.
Right. Yeah, I don't care if it's a yacht or a boat or an actual dinghy. Any any sort of floating object that's smaller than the majestic star is considered a dinghy. So thank you, Andrew, for the correct nomenclature there. However, no, these CO2 cannons are not firing T-shirts. They're firing a bunch of CO2 smoke in the air, and I'm told it's sick. I've seen videos and I've seen the visuals. It looks dope. I got ourselves enough smoke for about 2 hours, so we should be good there. It wasn't an overspend, I don't think. I think we had a correct estimation on the production team, but nonetheless, dude, yeah, these are cannons and they're set up on they're set up strategically by Twinsick in certain areas where that when you hit the smoke, usually hits on like a drop or something, and then it will basically cloud the entire stage with smoke, is what I'm told. I'm not sure if that's true or not.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's gonna be bananas. And we talked about this on the cease and desist episode, but to have the ability to ball out on a stage and make this feel like an actual festival, that's some anticipation that I really have no idea how it's going to look, but what we have in order for it to look it's exciting. That top floor is now going to be very official. It's not just going to have a little rope in front of a drummer and a guitar. I mean, granted, last year's event ripped, but this year we are actually making it feel like a festival.
Right. Yeah, I think this is going to be the best Boatche yet. That's an obvious statement. And yeah, this top floor, it's just funny how things just keep continuing to build from year to year to year, in a billion different facets, not facets.
Should we go
anyways.
over the order? So I guess,
Yeah.
or the how the lineup is going to be for the day. And I know not everyone here is attending, but just give the feel of what to expect for those that are attending and those. You know what I was also thinking? We should. Now we have the Mevo camera. We should strap it to someone and live stream the whole event and just Bluetooth it to like a laptop or something.
Actually, that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, just have a
live
POV
stream
shot.
Boatche on Twitch. That's genius. Yeah, I would love to do that. When I fly in, so I fly in on Friday, the day before Boatche, and I fly in at like 10 p.m. So I don't know if that's terribly enough time to test run the Mevo, but I would be down to wake up early and try to run it on the laptop if you're interested.
Yeah, we should give it a try because we got an early start on Saturday. We now know, because we just talked about the stage, it is going to take us approximately 2.5-3 hours to set up the entire stage. So we got to get on the boat earlier this year, and we got a full team of decorating taking place, which is awesome. Get the outsource. We will get to Stillwater around 10:30, but we're asking all attendees to start showing up around 11:30 noon, and we're going to send them to Freight House. Same place as last year. We have drink deals in order. We have Man Paw at Freight House, which is exciting. And
very exciting.
That joint is no more than a football field away from the actual boat. For those who didn't attend last year, this is the perfect spot to get the vibes going and start meeting people and seeing the crazy outfits that people are putting together for this event.
Yeah, we have to say the best part about Boatche every year is obviously the outfits. That's literally the coolest part, just the creativity that is infused within the event. Personally, I'm excited. I ordered a terry cloth outfit. I was in San Diego the other week in a real bitchin' area called Coronado, and with my sweet girlfriend, we went to this brunch place, and I swear to God, I saw Usher and his whole family there. It was like a long table. Looked like some sort of wedding festivities, and there's just one guy that had lime green terry cloth. And I was like, that is the most obvious choice for my Boatche outfit ever. And, a quick Google search later and found my outfit, dude. It's unreal.
So you're a giant beach towel.
That's correct. And I realized I didn't buy a crossbody, but I think I'll be all right.
Yeah, I didn't get a crossbody either, but I do have plenty of pockets this go around.
Yeah, congrats.
My outfit is it's their coveralls, and it is all white. And if you picture like a janitor or a mechanic, exactly what they're wearing, they're short sleeve coveralls. and I purchased white ones so that I could splatter paint pink and blue fabric paint on it. And then I also spray painted the word Boatchella with a stencil and spray painted the words "the boat party that got a cease and desist from Coachella" on the back, and I crossed off Boatchella in red. And the early creation thus far is phenomenal. I definitely should have gotten bigger font for the words "the boat party that got a cease and desist from Coachella," because the spray paint didn't come out exactly how I wanted, because the wording's too small.
Right.
But I got it as large as I could for the actual back. That the font could have been more bubbly. I made it have like a gothic feel, and for bigger words, it fucking like Boatchella, it looks so good. But then the gothic feel on the smaller words didn't pan out exactly, so I just kind of traced in red letters or in red paint to make the words pop more. And then I splatter painted it. Yeah, and then I splatter painted it. I'm letting it dry as of right now, and then I'll get the front later tonight. But my outfit is it's in full force. The coolest part about Nordhaus too is there's an arts and craft area for every resident. So Jonah and it's so good. So Jonah and I, obviously go to the arts and crafts room too for the first time since we've lived here to start arts and crafts and around in the room. And there was another painting next to ours where we were doing the crafts, and no issues while we're spray painting. We were plenty of distance away, and then we're all super giddy about the how the Boatchella words turned out via spray paint. Then we started dipping the paint brushes in the paint, and now we're splatter painting, going ham. And I have to commit to a crime now, Decky.
What do you mean?
I was splatter painting violently all over the place, and accidentally covered the painting next to us in pink paint.
No, you didn't.
I did. I wasn't aiming at it, but when I backfire, like when you splash forward and then pull back, paint flew over the right shoulder and just doused the canvas behind me. So I had to write a little note and apologize and say how sorry I was for being a knucklehead.
That's a real asshole move, dude.
I wrote it in crayon.
That's total.
Oh, it's a good time though. I mean, we let.
Sorry, dude, my camera went out. 1 sec. Let me grab an ice bag and I'll be right back.
Yeah, go grab yourself some frozen peas. The coolest thing for this year's outfit is I'm just DIYing the whole thing. Usually, you go on to Shein or you go on to you go to Urban Outfitters and you get the prototypical Boatchella gear. Like we sent out a blog post about all the prototypical Boatchella gear so you can fit in. And this year I threw a curveball. I went DIY. And you can definitely tell it's done by a dude who's not a artist. I'm an average artist, but the fact that I'm going the length to do it myself just is more rewarding. And then I got a sweet bucket hat with it as well. So that's gonna be my fit, and I'm excited to present it to the people.
Yeah, dude, that's good fun. Just proud of you first and foremost. There was at one point I was talking to Brogan, who's like the champion of spray painting. I was gonna maybe forward your project onto him as just maybe for some help, but just knowing the information overload he gave me and knowing the, again, short amount of time that we had, it didn't really seem logical for me to pass that along. And it sounds like it turned out fine, minus the damage you did to a fellow artist. And we all know the artist, I mean, this is going to be brought up in the Painters Guild, and your name is going to be slandered for sure forever. So,
yep, I am a flawed River District artist now. People are going to be after me. However, I left a note and I wrote it in crayon, and I deeply apologized. So I think he'll get over it. It was all black, and he hadn't even started yet, and he spray painted the canvas black, so the pink like pops way too violently. And he's just gonna have to spray paint. He's just gonna have to stain the thing again. I don't think it's a huge deal, but he might be pissed. or she.
He might be pissed. He might be pissed. You know, and it is what it is, man. Nothing we can do there. The yeah, so I think we've, you know, the outfits are going to be sick. I think one more thing we got to mention. So transitioning from, you know, please show up around 11:30, 12 to the freight house, get yourself a drink or two in you. And then I would say right at 1 o'clock is when we start loading the boat up with people.
That's correct.
And I would say get there first in line because we got something special for you. This year, we are blessed to be sponsored by Fifth and Baldwin, a sunglasses company. They're a speed shade company. They create these glasses that I'm wearing here and a bunch of other speed shades, such as these crazy-ass ones as well, these Cyclops ones. And you've probably seen if you've been on my Instagram story, you've definitely seen them. But anyways, yeah. So if you're the one of the first 150 on the boat, you're gonna get speed shades of your choice. They sent us about 150 pairs. I think we got about 130, 120 left. And we're gonna let this thing launch, dude. It's gonna be kind of sick. So make sure you get on the boat, get your speed shades, and let's get after it.
Yeah, start loading it up at 1, and these speed shades are insane. I was able to bring them to the Embrace North event a couple weeks ago. Because Embrace North will also be on the Boatchella 3rd floor, as well as the center of movement. And I brought these speed shades, all the varieties, and I carried them because there's so many. I didn't have like a good bag for it, so I just put it in a suitcase. And I had 150 pairs of sunglasses in my suitcase. I rolled it in to the gym. I felt like I was, schlepping sunglasses from a trench coat, like a traveling salesman.
Like they're a ghost. They're freaking. It's like you're one of those apothecary guys back in the day.
Yeah, like hey, you want a deck of cards? You need some sunglasses. You want some
It
socks?
basically applies to any profession where you're the only one who has the products.
Oh, it was too funny, and so that's why we're down. We're down 25.
Okay,
but that still
Good
leaves
to
us
know.
120. First people on the boat, get ready because those things are fierce. Decky's just rolling through a handful of them.
Yes, I'll be rotating through various pairs. For some reason, this one looks like it's a little crooked, but nonetheless, yeah. So we're gonna have tons of speed shades for the first 125 patrons. Obviously, if you are not one of those, please definitely bring sunglasses. You're gonna need them. It's gonna be the forecast today, as of the day we're recording, which is Thursday, July 15th. You hate to jinx the weather, but 90 and sunny. Bad day to be a cloud.
Let's jack those numbers up. We want 95, 99, just because we want those cold tubs and heavy usage.
Ooh, great call, Andrew. So now the ideal Boatchella attendee, I would say these are our Gold Star members, the first 125, the most elite crew members, I would say. So these guys, they show up, they got their speed shades. They're obviously wowed by the first floor, but they want more. They're going to go up to floor 2. They're going to see a buffet. There's a bottomless food buffet on that floor. They may snag a couple crackers and charcuterie board. Sorry, one sec. They're probably going to grab like a snack or two, and then they're going to head up to the 3rd floor, and that's our sponsor deck, which is huge. And Andrew, would you like to detail probably our favorite part of the sponsor deck, besides the bar, obviously?
Yeah, so you're going to walk up probably with, the charcuterie plate in your hand, maybe some wings, maybe some meatballs, and you're going to head up to the 3rd floor, and that's where our sponsors are. So there's also, that's the first time you'll see a bar. You might grab a drink, you might grab a man paw, and then you'll walk towards the how you get to the upper deck, and Embrace North will be located on the 3rd floor. This is by far my favorite part of this event. We have 2 massive tubs that are going to be full of ice water for all attendees to cool off. Embrace North is providing them. Luis is going to be there, and he's going to guide you through some breath work. And, if there's ever a point during the event where you feel overheated, you feel like you may have had one too many to drink, I highly suggest maybe just sticking your head in the cold tub, but I highly suggest you dip in the waist in there. Maybe you bring a change of clothes. Maybe you're just ready to submerge yourself because Luis has towels and it's going to be 95, 99. I'm pumping those numbers up. You'll dry off relatively quickly, and you're going to have a great time because you just had a meatball sandwich and now you get in the ice water and you're cooling off. Then you grab a man paw. I mean, you're just circling at an absolute festivity.
There's no better way to there's no better energy feeling than exiting the cold tub, I would say. Obviously, there's a little bit of anxiety and fear before you jump in, which is why we threw it on the boat. Obviously, we want to make sure we provide something where it's like basically we're providing it as a platform for people to try and urge their buddies on to jump in, because there's no better feeling than like the whole do it in your cool vibe. If we can get that going, then we have done our job. I would say we need to probably make this public. We haven't really done this yet, and maybe we should have pushed this more, but I think we still have some time on this. But like, wear a bathing suit. Like, I think everybody needs to be wearing a bathing suit. That kind of just comes with the theme of Boatchella and a boat party. You know, we're not necessarily allowed to jump off the frickin' boat into the St. Croix River. That would probably get us canceled forever. But definitely bring a swimsuit. We're definitely you want the opportunity. You're gonna want the opportunity to jump in that cold tub. There's definitely gonna be prizes and stuff from various sponsors involved there, and it's gonna be sick.
There are definitely people that wear swimsuits. Looking back onto past events, I know some of the outfits, because bathing suits are hands down the most variety of outlandish color patterns, logos, weird stuff. So I do know people are already going to be wearing bathing suits, but let's push that narrative even further.
Yeah, I think, welcome to Boatchella, wear a bathing suit. You know, I think that's honestly like line item number 2. The other thing I was going to say too is, you know, maybe we do a little bit of insider trading on this buffet, you know, because we've had it before and it's very similar lineup just from looking at it already. Your favorite item on the menu, Andrew?
The veggie platter. It's sneaky because you go down there and you're a couple drinks in and you're having a great time. They have the greasy variety of wings and meatballs, but the veggie platter, just getting yourself some ranch and celery, carrots and tomatoes. I mean, it's a full spread of all the dogs can eat. It's a dine-in dogs type of night.
Yes, the veggie platter. Obviously, that's a great move if you're trying to burn calories and eat at the same time. If you're not trying to do that, and you're trying to just get a nice little fresh splash, like their fruit plate first and foremost is phenomenal. But they have like, did they have like the sneaky little cheese triangles last year too? And they have wings, obviously. Like the wings are obviously like so good, and that's like what everyone goes for. But Andrew and I are trying to give you like the stuff that you make gloss over your first trip, you know.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna cheese triangle last time.
I'm not gonna overthink this one, but I swear, you know, there was cheese and crackers and maybe some salami.
Okay, yeah, dude, I eat that up. Salt retains water. You're gonna need some salt in your body. Obviously, hydration's key. can't say enough about it. But yeah, so that's the first 2 floors, and then you make your way up to the 4th floor, top deck, the launch pad, and obviously that's where all the magic happens. We're gonna have 3 performing artists. We're going to have it's a bar. There's a bar up top there. We got 2 banners. We got 2 cease and desist Coachella banners up there this year. We're stoked about that. And with a sold out event, you can only imagine how sick this top deck's going to be this year in comparison to last year, Andrew. Like, honestly, I don't want to get like my expectations of like visually what this is going to look up top there. But I mean, we had that place stacked last year with 200 people. Like, we almost doubled the amount of people. I'm interested to see how this works out.
Yeah, I'm definitely nervous. And I'm trying not to think about it all too much because of how much anxiety it is actually going to give me from having 350 potential people up on that top deck. It's going to be a bunch of sardines moving around, and Decky will give you the lineup on who's performing when. But before we get to that, my biggest recommendation, if you're on the top deck, don't stop moving. Never stop
Ever.
moving or you will get trounced. You have to worm around and move with the momentum of the crowd. You can't be standing there being a bystander trying to take a selfie, because people are going to be wilding. People are going to be having a great time. And that's the biggest thing when it comes to these things. Decky and I are very experienced festival goers. I don't know the right word. Festies. We love festies.
Sure. I like festies. We're festies.
We're festies. Like the Grizz concert is a great example. Always keep moving. Just move with the momentum, swaying back and forth, riding the vibe of how everyone else is handling it. Don't stop moving.
And it doesn't need to be anything grandiose. Like, we don't need to be exerting insane amounts of energy here.
Right. No one's
because
crumping.
this is a marathon. And we're gonna have some high energy moments, fast feet, fast pace, and we're gonna have some slow moving parts, man. This is a festival, dude. We got this thing. We got all kinds of vibes that we're gonna throw at you. So yeah, I mean, like you said, Andrew, just always be moving. I think that's really all we need to really say there. What you'll be moving to, the lineup. So we have DJ Paul Rundy, DJ Rundy, guy rocks. I think I personally never met the guy. All I know about him is he's a soccer coach, and he's not quitting. He's not attending his soccer game as a coach to DJ Boatche. So if you see Paul and you see DJ Rundy, just say, hope the boys did well on the pitch today. I think really that's like the line that you need to be hanging to the DJ. Don't give them music requests. All DJs hate that shit. They came with recommendations for what to play. I think they're going to figure that out. But yeah, just make sure you wish the boys some luck on the pitch. That's all I know about Paul.
DJ Paul, great guy.
Honestly, I don't think his name's Paul. I think it's Peter, to be honest. It's definitely Peter. It's definitely Peter, and he knows how to play piano. I saw actually his he has a sick what was it, dude? Beethoven. He did a whole Beethoven set, and I thought it was dope.
Gotcha. When it comes to Peter or Paul,
it's Peter. It's Peter.
Yeah, okay, it's Peter. But when it comes to those names, like the similarities of Peter and Paul, it's like psalm or song,
Totally. Yep.
It doesn't matter. They're both the same thing.
Right. Yeah. And that's with no disrespect to the name Peter or Paul. I mean, they just go seamlessly together. Yeah. But anyway, so Peter, DJ Rundy is going to be our opener. He's going to be bringing the vibes right away. And then we're going to bring it back to an OG performer. He's back for another year. We had to sign him. Guy's an absolute stud. We have Bio as our opener for Twin Sick. He will be launching with our first actual live performance, and he's going to set the tone. He's got a very important job, and we're excited to see him perform again this year.
Bio rocks. He came to us again and was like, hey, can I perform at this event? We said 100%. The coolest thing about Bio, and Decky already said this, but the energy that he brings, he's a true performer and an artist. He rallies the crowd. And that was what I just like thoroughly enjoyed about last year, is he's in and out of the crowd, getting the people going. He's got unique dance moves that he's making other people like sway back and forth too. The whole MO of Bio, I'm just stoked that we can continue to support him and he can continue to deliver for us.
Totally. And not to mention, the first time we met Bio was literally on the boat last year for Boatche 2020. And we've literally grown as like legit friends since then. And it's been sick to work out with that guy. It's been fun to, he hung out with me in Arizona for a few days. Just bottomless good times with Bio in the last year. And we're just stoked to bring him back. I mean, it's cool to like meet a guy for the first time, like, vibe him out. And he obviously crushed it on stage last year. And then now we just have like him as our anchor, like in a key performer as an opener, like just cool. And it's just a testament to the Backpocket community yet again, always thriving in all facets.
And who are we finishing off with, Decky?
We're finishing off with Twin Sick, and Twin Sick is a co-EDM and co-DJ performance from Alex Ingalls and Casey. And these two U of M students are going to tear the place apart, quite literally. Just listening to a couple of their sets, they are incredible. They started so we will have them on the podcast most likely next week. You guys are gonna we'll be able to recap Boatchella, and or I shouldn't say Boatchella, but we should probably like bleep that out every time we say it. But whatever. Anyways, so we're hopefully gonna have them on next week to get their full story. But I'll give you a synopsis. So they've been DJing together for a while throughout college, and then basically started their official band on Spotify at the beginning of last year in 2020. They eclipsed, I think, 3 or 4 million. I can't remember how many actual Spotify downloads they had streams last year in the year of 2020, but they literally had like 3 or 4 million in their first year, and just so impressive. Like they got featured on a Chainsmokers album from a song that they remixed of theirs. They came out with a crazy sick hit single that just hit 1 million streams, which is Jenny. Jenny's just absolutely rocking. They come out with these weekend mood mixes all the time that you can check out on their YouTube and I think SoundCloud and Spotify. But yeah, dude, these guys are kind of the perfect match for the vibes we're trying to bring to Boatchella this year. I couldn't be more excited.
They are going to bring a whole new element to Boatchella, to the boat party that got a cease and desist from Coachella. I'm thinking of actually a new name, just spitballing here, Boatche.
Boatche.
It's kind of still has the same ring to it, and it's simple. That's going to be my placeholder for the time being. So Boatche, we never know who's truly going to be in attendance. And that's the funniest aspect of who attends the event is we don't know if this year, I guess, let me backtrack. This year, Twinsick brought a new crowd to the event. In previous years, we just said, hey, this is the event, come join us. And then we would bring anyone that came was really just attending music on a boat. This year, Twinsick is coming, and they definitely brought a crowd. But I'm not sure if everyone truly understands who Twinsick is. And that is going to be a whole new element because their sound is unique. And not everyone is an EDM fan, or not everyone is an EDM enthusiast. Who rides, who understands the waves. And that's why I kind of preface the Don't Stop Moving recommendation. I'm just excited to people watch and to see who is loosening up, who's starting to shimmy and then sneaks their way onto the floor, and who's kind of just holy smokes, these guys are dropping bombs. This is the light show, the CO2 cannons, the EDM drops. It could be a whole new element where people get intimidated, and it's going to be your and I's job, Decky, to slowly just keep pushing people in there. Just keep shimmying them into the middle of the circle and make sure that they hit the drop.
Totally. Yeah, it's like you said, it's a different vibe this time. I mean, first year was Yam House, second year was Denny. Both very similar in the fact that they're alternative indie rock bands. And then this year we just entirely flipped the script and just went with just some sick DJs. And I just couldn't be more excited for the opportunity and just seeing how people react. Like you said, it's just going to be so much more groovy of a time. I know you can dance to rock music and everything all you want, but we're literally directing all traffic into just tons of ass throwing, essentially, is what we're after right now. And it's just going to be an absolute treat. I'm stoked for it. I'm not going to worry about what the visuals of the expectations will be. I'm just excited to show up and attend and be a part of the event.
I'm curious to see if some elderly people have purchased tickets. That was unbeknownst to us last year. We had a woman.
Unbeknownst to us this year too.
Definitely unbeknownst this year, but last year in particular, we had a woman celebrating her 60th birthday, and her husband were the first to come to the pregame, and. Yep. I remember them walking in, and I'm like, all right, yeah, you here for Boatchella? And they're like, yeah. I was like, no way. This is awesome. Well, we're happy to have you. And I gave them the rundown of the night, and they're like, okay, sounds good. And I was like, hey, if you got any questions, come up to me. I'm your man. And they got on the boat and had a rip-roaring time, and they came up to me afterwards and said, we are coming back. We're bringing our kids. This absolutely ripped. So maybe they make an appearance again this year, and maybe there's some additional elderly people that are like, hey, the word's out. We tried our best in Stillwater to bring back the Roaring 20s. So you never know if that left a lasting impact.
Yeah, big storylines heading in. The first one is the Wagner Wedding Special, successfully getting 11 tickets sold from the initial Stillwater pitch. That's big for us, Andrew. We're going to be able to rectify that one in person. The next one is, who's going to be the old people showing up? Any representatives of the 1920 Boomers? We need them as our staples for welcoming the Roaring 20s. And then the third one is I need... just a little input from you, is who do you think is going to be the first person to show up to Boatchella this year? Last year was the 60th birthday party. This year, what do you think it's going to be? Are we going to be surprised again? What do you think?
Good question. I have a good feeling that it's going to be someone arriving on a party bus. So it's not just going to be a single person. It's going to be a squahedron of at least 15. Nice. I'm just gonna throw I'm gonna set the line at like plus 450. I'm gonna say it's Callan and her group because she was super excited last time I talked to her a couple weeks ago, and she's got a whole day planned with her and her crew. I think she's gonna arrive on a party bus at plus 450.
I like that. Good call on Callan. I'm gonna go ahead and put my money on Manpaw. The Manpaw squad will be in full attendance and first in line. Now, that's a crazy bet on my end. That's plus 800. We all know Kurt and the founders of Manpaw are not the most punctual guys in the world. So it would be shocking to see those guys show up early. However, Boatchella is a different day, and I've never seen guys more dialed in, ready to sponsor an event than Manpaw. The hardest seltzer, 6.9% alcohol by volume, and by far one of my favorite sponsors this year. So yeah, I think that just about wraps it up. And Andrew, go ahead.
I have one additional storyline. So storyline number 4,
nice.
How many people are going to show up in the Candid Orange? The ladies claimed orange. They said that's our color, and anyone
unbelievable that they could claim a color. We never thought it was possible.
God, I didn't think it was possible. I didn't know that was allowed.
What a marketing tactic, though, because I think this is going to really pay off.
It's brilliant because there's going to be a handful of people that unintentionally wore orange, and they're going to automatically swept into the Candid crew, and then there's going to be a large posse that are going to be wearing orange, and I'm stoked to see everyone coming in there like an Orange Crush, just riding a Fanta wave.
The Fanta wave. And I honestly say, if we're going to set it at like a number of people, I'm honestly going to set it high, like 45 at least.
That's a good number. I'm taking the over. I'm thinking it's going to be in the 50s. But 45 is a good number.
We're going to need someone to do a head count on orange.
Oh, you know the ladies will. There's going to be a group orange photo.
Cool. Excellent. Sweet. Well, that's awesome. So anyways, so Twin Six is going to have about a 90-minute set. We probably shouldn't be telling them how long their set's going to be, but they're going to have a long set. And then as you exit the boat, so we're also going to have an after party at the Freight House, and we have a special performer providing a secret performance at the after party. I don't even know if Andrew knows about this, but there's a secret performer performing at the after party. And we're also giving everyone a special gift on their way off the boat from one of our sponsors and from us. This is a token of our gratitude to all that we've been through this year, especially with Coachella. But we would like to just know that on your way off the boat, you're going to get a sick-ass gift, and be sure to make it back to Freight House for a special performance.
And we'll leave it at that because no guarantees. But everything is pointing in the right direction for the gift to be delivered. And I'm stoked to hear the surprise. I truly do not know who's performing at Freight House afterwards. I don't need to know right now. Cue me in later. Let's keep it a surprise.
You'll enjoy it.
But yeah, head back to Freight House because we'll just continue ripping it up. Boatchella will be approximately, or I guess, sorry, Boatche, the boat party that got a cease and desist from Coachella.
Boatche.
Just ridiculous, just absurd.
We got to rebrand it to a salsa event next year.
Yeah, honestly, that ain't a bad idea. You'll be on the boat from 2 to 6, and our lovely woman who is so our sweet Amy at Stillwater Riverboats has planned accordingly to make sure that we are not docking this year. We will have enough alcohol for the attendees. Last year, about an hour and a half on the boat, she had to go back to the dock the boat, and dinghy over new cases for the party goers because we drank them under the table. So we're on the boat from 2 to 6.
Hour and a half.
In the first hour and a half.
Insane.
It's truly insane. So on the boat from 2 to 6, then we'll wrap it up at Freight House. That is going to be a full day. I am so stoked. I'm nervous. I'm excited, and I'm ready to let loose because this has been the longest anticipation for this event because we started planning it at the end of March, maybe even a little bit earlier than that. This is the longest we've planned the event, and everything's coming together nicely.
Yeah, I think we have ourselves pretty much dialed in for the event this year. I'm not sure, it's just interesting because, being out here in Arizona, I haven't really felt the local vibe of the anticipation of Boatchella outside of DMs and whatnot, but and people bought tickets so long ago that it's like the vibes of hey, it's Boatchella week. It's going to have, I'm excited for the pageantry, man. We have legitimate tradition going on here.
You have not been able to take part in the anticipation as I have.
That's a good point.
I mean, again, hair's coming up on my arms because walking around town, going to Embrace North events or wherever I'm going, and hearing the Coachella name being thrown around and hey, we're not slandering them. I'm prefacing right now. We've never slandered Coachella and anything Chella Incorporated. But people are anti-Chella without us, nothing coming from us, but people coming from the streets. I'm hearing just birds from afar,
Yeah, lots of fuck Coachellas for some reason. And again, we
didn't say that. We didn't say that.
I've heard Coachella's pretty fun, honestly. I've heard it's great. Personally, I've never been. Will I ever go? That's still up up for debate here, but I've heard it's all right. I haven't heard it's the best festival ever, but I've heard it's all right.
Yeah, I've heard it's a good time, and it's interesting that they took the name from a town and claimed it. Very interesting. Very interesting. But remember, I'm not saying it, but I'm hearing the birds from afar, and birds aren't real, but fuck Coachella. And
that's just what I've heard, dude.
It's just what I've heard.
Tons of people saying, I'm like, hey, there's kids around. You can't be saying fuck Coachella, but here we are.
And here's a couple stories behind it. It's super funny because we went to the Twins game last Friday, and leaving the Twins game, I ran into Spencer from the Date Night podcast. He's all hyped for the event. I ran into Ross Larson, the Float guys, and he's all hyped. He's not going to be in attendance, but he is a true supporter of what we've done and huge in where we are today because of what he has done for us. Ross and Jake from Float, an awesome foundation they've led for us. And then I ran into Alex Varujas of Otta Kaddish. And he was pumping us up, something was said about the birds from afar, not from me. And it was, I think there was 2 or 3 more occurrences going down the night of running into random people, hyped for what we've put together and stoked that we sold out so far in advance.
So that's great. That's great news. It sounds like people are excited. I'm glad that the vibe is being matched beforehand. I'm stoked. It's just it's been crazy, dude, because there's every year we throw this event, there's always new problems, there's always new things that we got going on, there's always new just marketing tactics. Andrew, go ahead.
One more. Mackenzie Gurns.
Mackenzie Gurns.
I was going
from downtown.
Yeah, from downtown. I was going up from Nolo's to Nolo's Rooftop, which is a new spot. And Mackenzie was coming out of the elevator, and I was wearing some of my ridiculous sunglasses. She had a big old smile, gave me a hug, and said, "Good luck on the event." I was like, "No way, this is insane."
Oh my god, dude. Yeah, it's been fun to educate people on. It's just been fun to these last 4 months of promotion, 4 months of promotion, and everything that's gone into it has been the most fun I've had throwing an event, and it hasn't even happened yet. So I'm just excited to see how this all goes together. I'm excited to just literally be a part of it, and there's really not much else to be said on it, honestly. I'm just like just make sure you bring your swim trunks, wear a swimsuit.
Wear a swimsuit and just get ready to embrace whatever's going on. There's nothing that's 100% cohesive about the day, and that's the coolest part. And when I explain what's happening at this event, it's just not cohesive, but it's happening, and it all happens together at one time at one event, and we were able to put it together. Oh, it's so rewarding. I'm hoping that people are able to feel the value that they had last year. I truly believe they will. But walking off the boat last year, my dad was able to be there and handing out Famous Dave's barbecue. Seeing him and everyone embracing John was a really cool moment, and that was like extra motivation to deliver on that value this year, and I believe we did that, especially with this gift bag that's pending that should happen. Just it's so cool. It's so fulfilling to be in the event space, because especially in this time, in this economy, with coming out of COVID and people just itching to be
It's
around.
really a buyer's market, Andrew.
It's a buyer's market, dude.
I don't know what that means, but
I'm buying everything event related. I'm very excited for Saturday. Let's go, dude.
Yeah.
Let's go, dude.
yeah, it's just it's hard to put words to it, man. Honestly, like, this is our 3rd year freaking running this event, and it's just taken on a whole new level of stoke, like legitimate whole new level.
Yeah, and when people say like, "Hey, how long have you been doing it?" and I say 3 years, when I say that, it feels like we've just scratched the surface. We've just tickled the surface.
Right.
We haven't even fully gotten to do what we want to do with the event, but we're continuing to lay groundwork to make it bigger and bigger. It's just insane. We talked about it on the previous one about the growth, but damn, dude, 3 years at it. We no longer can use the name Boatchella, and things just keep getting the level of stoke has risen.
Yeah, dude. It's just it's weird because like as a brand that we've created with Backpocket, there's so many we have so many things going on inside the corp, I should say, that it's funny to see like what things are firing and then like what things aren't, and then like what things like we're interested in and like getting ready to put together, and what things aren't, and how that's transitioned and ebbed and flowed over the years. Like, Boatchella is basically been like, for the last 2 or 3 years have been like the most stressful times and the most challenging obstacles that we've had to overcome, but by far the most worthwhile and like most fulfilling experience from an execution level that I feel like we've done. And we've been able to use those experiences to create other experiences like the Date Night podcast and these live shows that we've done in the past. But then like you cross that over with like incorporating our production company, and then how that kind of takes over the majority of our time. And like now there's like a really clear division, or there's a 50-50 split, I would say, between like running a business with the production company that we basically fired up this year, and then like the old shenanigans that we used to do but we still find important. And like, to be 100% clear, like I still think there's value in both, and I still think in long term, like, yeah, the production might make us more money and take us to a full-time job in a corporation faster, and I know that's where we're going to spend our time to get to that point. But like, I still think if we continue to do the knucklehead stuff that we really like to do and just keep staying persistent on that over time, I think it's going to go like this, dude. I really do. That's truly what I mean. And I'm saying this from a standpoint of like, there's probably like 20 people listening to this podcast at the 45-minute mark or whatever. And that's probably the lowest downloads we've probably had in our 319 past episodes. But that's the reason why I like doing it. There's a myth to the madness in my head. And I don't know. I just wanted to vocalize that, man, because I just like think Boatche is such a good example of like us executing on a brand level to a T.
Yes. Documenting what we're doing and our thoughts at that current time is why I love doing this podcast more than anything. And to your point, the production aspect and the knucklehead shit, there's some Venn diagram between it, especially with when it comes to like the date night podcast. I think that one really hits home two pieces of value where we love events, we love getting people together, and we love lighthearted, enjoying like atmosphere. And I think the date night podcast feeds right into that. But the other aspect of grinding on content and making sure that that's there on all facets with everything that we're doing, from Straight Candid to ETS podcast with Adam Thielen, to things with Fosh related, 4 Hour Shared Humanity, My Dad's Walk, to stuff that you're doing with Iconic, to stuff that I'm doing with Vintage Wear, to my actual day job with Social Works, to your actual day job being a project manager, engineer on a construction site. It is absurd how much responsibility is demanded between all of that. And I think like right now, more than ever, I'm able to cipher through the shit and see what I love doing the most and wake up every day not overwhelmed, but more so like, holy smokes, man, this is beauty. It does not matter truly how much money I make doing this right now, because it is 100% a long man's game, and I am after it. I am so here for it. From Backpocket Productions to the Backpocket live events to anything else that I can help with, I am so motivated each day to provide my value and feel fulfilled doing it.
Totally. I would I'll echo the same thing and just say we're spread thin. That there's definitely no
we run lean.
We run lean. We're spread thin. We run lean. But we're running lean. Like we're staying afloat. We're surviving and we're thriving, I would say, and living, like truly living in it. And it's cool to see like the small intention on a day-to-day over the past 3 years since graduating grow into legitimate things. So like when new things come up, like for example, like the Vintage Wear for you, Jonah's new company, or maybe a couple of these different podcasts that we just started producing, and maybe these different relationships that we're building nowadays, like for me, Iconic or whatever. If you look at it the same lens of like, oh, we're in our 3rd year in Boatche and we're just scratching the surface, and we're like in our 1st year doing a lot of these new things and feeling spread thin, like that, the old stuff that we've done, the knucklehead shit or the Backpocket brand stuff that we've done for so long and how that's paid its dividends in our current life has given me and you so much confidence in staying just focusing on like the next step, like just making sure that we're just gonna keep going, because and not getting overwhelmed with like the end result, because there's just so much to it, obviously, with being spread thin and it's overwhelming and everything like that. But like we like the visionary aspect is like, it's not removed entirely, but it's not as keenly thought after, and it's not as dialed in, I guess, or not. It's not, I don't put a lot of time towards it because I've seen how the last 3 years have gone, of just like how genuine intention takes you. And I'm so here for that ride.
Yes, and I think that's what you said last night. We were just texting back and forth with different projects we're doing. 90% intention. It truly is. Like, that is what motivates us every single day. And yeah, we're spread thin, but I know that I will find a way to outsource one thing that I start to become tiresome, and then my time and energy will be able to focus on something else, whatever that may be. Backpocket is dialed in. It's insane what we're able to do from it's a full-time job, but not being paid via full-time, because every dollar that comes back in is either going back into the company or is headed to our really trusty steed, Marcus.
Yeah, dude. One of the reasons we maybe got a little bit behind on our Boatche low-hanging fruit was our sweet producer Marcus took a nice vacation.
A
Put it in the
sabbatical.
calendar, told us ahead of time. We all knew what was going on. It was approved by the corp, and my God, did we miss? If we missed a guy more than we could have missed someone, it was Marcus, man. Holy shit, we stayed alive. We made it through, but I did not realize how much that guy does for us. Actually, no, I did realize how much he did for us. I was nervous going in. I'm glad we came out on top, and I'm so glad he's back.
I forgot. I know how much he does for us, but I forgot what those tasks demanded.
Yeah, that's a good point. All the stuff we taught him,
we hadn't done. I personally haven't fully produced a podcast since 2019. So doing that for 3 weeks straight and for Backpocket and Straight Candid cracked me up, because I was like, oh, this is why Marcus is so pivotal to the growth of Backpocket, because it is very needed. It takes a ton of skill from the standpoint of you need to be dialed in with your background on Adobe and making everything look pretty. And it takes a ton of time. It just takes a ton of time. And having Marcus not there is a reiteration of why it's a three-headed prong attack between Backpocket, truly, with Marcus being a huge part of that.
Right. So get this, dude. Total pieces of content without Marcus here, from myself alone, between the last 2 weeks. How many pieces of content do you think I created that was tied to a podcast or our brand or anything?
How many weeks was it?
The last 2 weeks, basically, that Marcus was gone. How many pieces of content, social content, do you think I've put together?
I'm going to say 20.
Yeah, 22. 22 pieces of content in 2 weeks. It's just like it's insane, dude. Like I definitely didn't get. I have not slept a lot, and I don't normally sleep a lot. With 3 o'clock, 3 a.m. wake up time on the old job site. But dude, unbelievable, Marcus. Thanks for coming back, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I hope your sabbatical was awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool thing. I'm gonna
all worthy.
I'm gonna run into Marcus tomorrow. Him and I are going to KDWB, I believe are the initials, and we are gonna be in the Dave Ryan morning show. Straight Candid, Sid and Soph are gonna be on Dave Ryan morning show from 8 to 9 p.m. I know we're releasing this the following week, but they were just on it this previous Friday, and Marcus and I are going to capture content for them. But just another cool milestone. I want to document and show that those ladies continue to push themselves in a way to grow the brand, and we allow them to do so because we have everything neat and tied up in a bow from a production standpoint, which is dope. But just really
and
cool.
they're getting good at creating a team too. Like they understand what it takes, and then now they hired 2 new interns, which we didn't even talk about that. But the fact that we have Jackson and Adam over at the Straight Candid helping us produce in the Backpocket farm system, literally no 2 better dudes. Again, just like so passionate about producing Straight Candid podcast content, like. Harnessing that kind of passion is just the coolest shit ever, man. And it only helps us. And if you look like, dude, you always just gotta quantify everything and what your Christmas picture is gonna look like every year. And our Christmas picture this year it literally doubled in size.
And it might triple by the end of the year because we're only halfway through.
Right, it might triple by the end of the year. Think about how fucking crazy that is, dude.
Oh, it's so cool. I'm proud of you, Deck. I know you've been grinding, but I just want to say thank you.
Hey, proud of you, dude. I know I get on your case sometimes, and we don't get to have friendship time a lot, especially over text. But just want to say, Suns and 7. Let's go ahead and place that future.
Suns and 7. I love it. I got Jordan Spieth riding the Open. This will be done by the end, but mine's.
I refer to friendship time. We immediately start talking betting. Unbelievable. But yeah, dude. I mean, it's all worthy. It's a fun ass time, man. I wouldn't want to be going into this war zone with anybody else besides you, man. And it's been a hell of a year in 2021. it's literally feels surreal, and we're just getting started.
It's surreal. I can ride this fluff train all day long because I love.
It's not a fluff train.
It's really not.
Take it back.
It really isn't a fluff train because of what's like the underneath meaning behind what we're talking about. I mean, it's insane. We're 6 months in to truly making this the business that we want it to be. 6 months in, from January 1 to today, I would say is when we've been this hyper focused on producing what we're currently doing, and it's insane. Ah man.
Man.
You know what I mean? Like it really is insane.
Yeah, it's
nope.
pretty nuts.
I was talking to Dowdle about this the other day. We were at the Twins game. We were just sitting, I was chatting about, what's on my plate every day. And I don't even think twice about it,
Yeah, same.
I'm never like, oh snap, like I wonder what else someone else is doing at this time. Like, all right, let's just get to the next thing. It's it's not even multitasking. It's getting one thing done, understanding I have another thing, and then I get to that thing. So like right after this, I'm headed to Freehouse to meet with a CBD guy that wants to sponsor all of our podcasts. He's just launching CBD product.
I saw that in the emails. I don't know much about it, but I saw it.
Yeah,
nonetheless.
I'll fill you in after this conversation I have with him.
Sick.
But it's just a cool milestone. I mean, people are chomping at the bit to be a part of Backpocket Corp, and that's a cool feeling.
Yeah, it's a cool feeling, man. Well, stoked for Boatche. Stoked for where we're at in life. Maybe a little more sleep in the books. That wouldn't hurt. Maybe a couple more speed shades. That certainly wouldn't hurt either. But the love is there. The love is in full. And we're also and it's bottomless, man. There's no tank to quantify the love and the energy that we bring to it from a day-to-day standpoint. So love it, man. Love you. And any final words on your end, dude?
I've talked enough. I love you guys.
We talked enough.
I talked enough. You know what I mean? I love all y'all. I appreciate the time that you gave us today. We rambled probably too much in certain areas, but we're just so hyped about documenting Boatche, and then you got to tap into the Backpocket Corp and where we're at currently. Love that you listened. Love and appreciate you. Maybe shoot us a 5-star review if you're feeling willing.
DM us if you made it the whole way. Shoot us a DM just saying, hey, dude, made it the whole way. We'd love to know. So anyways, love you guys who made it all the way. Take care.
Take care.